Hey Tony, glad to have you back on the podcast. Today, we're tackling something pretty close to everyone's heart. How to choose a career you won't regret. It feels like such a huge decision, right?
Absolutely, Mark. It's one of those life choices everyone wrestles with. Pick the wrong path, and you could be stuck in a job that drains you for years. But pick the right one, and it's like waking up excited to start your day. No pressure or anything.
Haha, exactly. And I love that today we're going beyond just the usual pick what pays well advice. There's this Japanese concept called Ikigai that's been getting a lot of buzz lately. Have you heard of it?
Oh yeah, Ikigai is fascinating. It roughly means your reason for being or what makes life worth living. It's about finding the sweet spot between what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can get paid for.
Right, the four circles overlapping. I think what's cool about Ikigai is it blends passion with practicality and purpose. So many career talks focus on just one or two of those, but Ikigai pushes us to find balance among all four.
And that's what makes it tricky, though. A lot of people only chase passion or money, and they miss out on meaning or skills. I get why people want to follow their heart exclusively. I did it once, and it led to some messy moments.
Really? What happened?
Well, I took a plunge into careers I thought would make me happy just because they seemed fun or interesting, but without considering if I was actually good at them or if they paid the bills. I ended up frustrated. Took me a minute to realize I had to factor all parts of Ikigai in.
That's a great point about skills. Loving something doesn't always mean you're naturally good at it, and struggling in a job where your skills don't fit can kill your motivation fast.
True. But I also think there's room to grow skills if the passion and purpose are there. You don't have to be an expert from day one. If you're deeply interested and see that the world needs it, you can develop the skills over time.
Definitely. Speaking of the world's needs, that's maybe the piece some people overlook. When choosing a career, how often do folks really think about whether their work matters on a bigger scale?
Probably not enough. Lots of us get caught up in personal gain or comfort rather than impact. But when your career serves something larger than yourself, whether it's helping others, creating something meaningful, or solving problems, that feeling of fulfillment skyrockets.
That's backed by research, too. Studies show people who feel their work contributes to society have higher job satisfaction and lower burnout rates. Purpose matters.
So yeah, Ikigai kind of wraps all that up. But I'll be honest, finding your Ikigai isn't a simple checklist. It's a journey. You have to experiment, get out of your comfort zones, and reflect a lot.
Agreed. I read about one approach where you start with what excites you, your passions, and then test them in real life to see if they align with your skills and values, like internships, side projects, or volunteering.
I'm a big fan of that. Nothing beats hands-on experience. When you try things, you get a better feel for your fit than just daydreaming or Googling careers endlessly.
And then comes the question of money, of course. The Ikigai framework highlights this too. Even if you love something and it feels meaningful, it has to pay the bills, or at least be sustainable.
That's where I think people get stuck in compromise mode. They feel like they have to choose between a job they love and a paycheck. But sometimes there are careers that actually do both.
Exactly. And sometimes you can start with a secure job and build your passion project on the side until it grows. It's not always all or nothing.
I've seen that approach work wonders. It takes patience, but it's less risky than quitting cold turkey. Plus, your side hustle allows you to test if that passion can actually become a viable career.
Let's talk about another angle Ikigai opens up: values. What kind of work environment do you want? Autonomy, collaboration, creativity? These matter just as much as the actual job title.
So true. I've seen people jump into careers with high salaries only to find the culture kills their spirit. If you thrive on independence but end up in a micromanaged place, you'll regret it fast.
And some folks value stability, others crave variety. Matching your work style preferences is a big predictor of satisfaction.
That reminds me of a friend who hated the 9-to-5 grind and needed a flexible schedule to balance family. She chose freelancing, and though it's less predictable income-wise, it aligned perfectly with her priorities.
That's a great case. And speaking of priorities, sometimes they change over time. So perhaps part of choosing a career you won't regret is building flexibility into your path?
Absolutely. I don't believe there's one perfect forever career for most people. Life changes, and so do interests. Being able to pivot or evolve your career matters a lot.
How do you recommend someone build that flexibility?
Learn transferable skills, communication, problem solving, project management, stuff that applies across industries. Also, keep networking and stay curious. That way you're ready if new opportunities pop up.
That makes sense. So instead of obsessing about picking the perfect career right now, focus on building a foundation for multiple possibilities.
Yes, and I'd add, be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. Career paths are rarely straight lines.
So true. Maybe part of not regretting your career choice is embracing that you're continuously learning and adapting. What about fears? How do you think fear plays into making career decisions?
Fear is huge. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of instability. It paralyzes a lot of people. I've seen folks stick in dead-end jobs for years because they were scared to try something new.
Yeah, it's a natural emotion, but it can keep you stuck. I think framing career moves as experiments rather than leaps off a cliff can help overcome that.
Spot on. Small steps, like taking a class or freelancing part-time, lower the stakes and reduce fear. Plus, you learn valuable info without quitting your day job immediately.
And it's worth mentioning that sometimes fear also signals what matters to us. Like if you're really scared of switching fields, maybe it's because that new path touches on something deep or risky, which means it could be right.
That's a great way to look at fear, as a compass, not just an obstacle. It means the career choice might be significant enough to push you forward, not just hold you back.
I like that. So what about people who feel totally overwhelmed? The internet is full of career advice, but how do you cut through the noise?
Start with self-reflection. Write down what energizes you, what drains you, your values, your strengths. Then look where those intersect with jobs out there. It narrows things down.
And I'd add, talk to people in fields you're curious about. Informational interviews give real insight beyond job descriptions. Hearing someone's stories can light up new possibilities.
That's how I found out about some careers I never considered, but turned out to love.
Something else I've noticed is that people often forget how much their career needs to fit with their life goals. Not just what they do Monday to Friday, but how the job supports their lifestyle.
Yeah, like how much time off you want, how flexible your hours are, remote work options. Those practical details can make a huge difference in how you feel about your job.
Exactly. Sometimes people get so caught up in the career title or salary that they overlook these quality of life factors. And then they end up exhausted or dissatisfied.
So true. It's all connected. Your work, your life, your happiness. Ikigai reminds us it's not just about a paycheck or passion, but a balanced, meaningful whole.
Let's circle back to practical steps. Besides self-reflection and talking to people, what else should listeners consider?
Experiment. Take courses, volunteer, freelance, or even job shadow. The more real experiences you get, the clearer it becomes what fits you.
And be patient. It's okay if you don't nail it on the first try. Many people have multiple careers or change direction later on.
That's one thing I wish more young people realized. Your first job isn't your forever job. It's a stepping stone.
Absolutely. Career satisfaction often comes from growth and adaptation, not just the initial choice. That's encouraging to hear.
Totally. So, wrapping up, what's your biggest takeaway from Ikigai and choosing a career you won't regret?
For me, it's the balance. The sweet spot between passion, talent, purpose, and income. Focusing on just one doesn't cut it. Also, the value of experimentation and reflection as ongoing parts of the journey.
For me, it's kindness toward yourself and flexibility. Don't beat yourself up if things don't go perfectly. Life and careers evolve. Embrace that.
Couldn't agree more. And listeners, here's a question for you. When thinking about your career, what's the one thing that matters most? Passion, income, impact, flexibility, or something else entirely? Drop your answer in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Remember, choosing a career you won't regret is a journey, a mix of self-knowledge, courage, and patience.
Exactly. Keep reflecting, stay curious, and keep chasing your Ikigai. Catch you next time.
See you later.